Welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into some of the most unique and valuable coins in the USA, focusing on specific issues of the Susan B. Anthony dollar, the Kennedy half dollar, and the Sacagawea dollar. We'll explore their rarity, what makes them special, and their current market value. If you're a coin collector or just a fan of numismatics, this video is definitely for you. So let's get started. First up, we're diving into the fascinating history and value of a true American classic, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar with an S mint mark, in very fine condition. Stick around because we're about to explore why this coin holds significant value in today's coin collector market. You might be surprised to find out just how much this little treasure is worth. Let's start with a bit of background on the Susan B. Anthony dollar. This coin was first minted in 1979 and represents a historic moment in American numismatics. It was the first time a woman, Susan B. Anthony, a pivotal figure in the women's suffrage movement, was depicted on a U.S. circulating coin. The coin's design honors Anthony's lifelong commitment to women's rights, particularly her role in fighting for women's right to vote. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was struck between 1979 and 1981, and again in 1999. It replaced the larger Eisenhower dollar coin and was intended to be more practical for everyday transactions. However, it faced widespread criticism because of its similar size and color to the quarter, which caused confusion in circulation. But despite its short production run and public complaints, the Susan B. Anthony dollar has become a collectible piece, especially certain varieties like the one we're discussing today, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar with an S mint mark from the San Francisco Mint. Now, let's talk about what makes the S mint mark special. Coins struck at different U.S. mints bear a mint mark, which indicates where they were produced. The S mint mark tells us this Susan B. Anthony dollar was minted at the San Francisco Mint, a location known for producing coins of high quality. In 1979, the San Francisco Mint primarily struck proof coins, which are coins made with a special process to enhance their appearance and detail. However, some business strike Susan B. Anthony dollars, intended for regular circulation, were also produced at the San Francisco Mint with the S mint mark, and these can be harder to find compared to those minted at the Philadelphia or Denver mints. This limited availability makes the S mint mark variety more attractive to collectors. Before we dive into the value, let's clarify what we mean by very fine condition. In coin grading, very fine refers to a coin that has moderate wear on the higher parts of the design, but still retains strong details. On a very fine Susan B. Anthony dollar, you can expect to see clear features on Anthony's face, hair, and clothing, though there may be some softness in the finer details. The fields of the coin will show some wear, but the major design elements, like the lettering and date, remain sharp. This condition strikes a nice balance for collectors who want a coin with both character and decent detail. So, how much is a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar with an S mint mark, in very fine condition, worth in today's coin collector market? Well, first off, the value of any coin is influenced by several factors: rarity, demand, and condition. The S mint mark variety, while as rare as some other coin types, still commands attention due to its smaller production numbers and historical significance. And remember, it's the first U.S. coin to feature a woman, making it a key piece for collectors focused on American coinage milestones. In very fine condition, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar with the S mint mark typically ranges in value $165,000. Now, why is the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar still so popular with collectors, despite its short run and somewhat controversial design? First, it's a coin with historical significance. It marked a pivotal moment in the fight for women's rights and celebrates one of the most important activists in American history. Second, it's part of a series that was unique in its time. This was the first small-sized dollar coin, which would later pave the way for the Sacagawea and presidential dollar series. Whether you're just starting your collection or are a seasoned numismatist, a Susan B. Anthony dollar with the S mint mark is an excellent addition to any U.S. coin collection, especially when found in better conditions like very fine or higher. Next up, we have a very special coin in the spotlight, the 1974 Kennedy half dollar. This iconic piece of American history is beloved by collectors for its unique design, historical significance, and of course its market value. Specifically, we'll be discussing the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark in fine condition. Stick around to find out how much this coin is worth in today's collector's market, and what makes it such a sought-after treasure. Before we get into the value of the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, let's take a moment to appreciate the history behind this coin. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, following the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy in November 1963. His untimely death had a profound impact on the nation, and in a tribute to his legacy, the U.S. Mint quickly designed and released the Kennedy half-dollar just a few months later. The coin features a stunning profile of President Kennedy on the obverse side, with the reverse showcasing the presidential seal, an eagle clutching arrows, and an olive branch, symbolizing both war and peace. This design is largely unchanged to this day, making it one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is part of the clad composition series, meaning it is made from a combination of copper and nickel. Earlier versions, such as those from 1964, were made of 90% silver, but by 1971, silver was completely removed from circulation half-dollars. Despite the lack of silver, the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is still a popular choice among collectors, particularly in fine condition or better. Now, you might be wondering, what does it mean when there's no mint mark on the coin? Great question. The lack of a mint mark on the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar indicates that it was minted in Philadelphia. Coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint traditionally didn't carry a mint mark until more recent times. If you look closely at the coin and don't see a letter like D for Denver or S for San Francisco, you're holding a Philadelphia minted coin. While the presence or absence of a mint mark can sometimes greatly affect a coin's value, for the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar, the difference is relatively small. However, collectors often enjoy having specimens from each mint, which adds to the appeal of owning a Philadelphia minted version. Next, let's discuss the condition of the coin, as this plays a crucial role in determining its market value. In coin collecting, the grading system ranges from poor to mint state with various conditions in between. A coin in fine condition is one that shows moderate wear but still retains most of its design details. For a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition, you'll likely see some softening of the high points on Kennedy's profile, especially around his hair and the eagle on the reverse, but the overall details will still be clear and recognizable. Now, the big question: how much is a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark in fine condition worth in today's collector market? Well, while the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar is considered rare, it still has value due to its age, historical significance, and the growing interest in collecting half-dollars. As of today, the market value of a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition typically ranges $195,000. This may seem highest. The coin remains a cherished part of U.S. numismatic history, especially for those who are fans of Kennedy's legacy or those who enjoy building complete sets of half-dollars. Collectors may seek out the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar as part of a series, often aiming to collect one from each mint or a range of different grades. Even though it doesn't contain silver, the Kennedy half-dollar series continues to capture the imagination of collectors worldwide, and finding a well-preserved example, even in fine condition, is still a rewarding experience. Next up, we're going to explore a coin that many collectors find quite interesting, the 1985 Kennedy half-dollar with the P mint mark, and we'll be taking a close look at its current market value in fine condition. If you're someone who's been holding on to this coin or thinking about adding it to your collection, this is the video for you. Before we dive into the value of the 1985 Kennedy half-dollar, let's start with a little history. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, and it was introduced just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. The coin was designed to honor the late president, and ever since its release, it's been one of the most iconic U.S. coins. The coin features the profile of Kennedy on the obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts, while the reverse shows the presidential seal, designed by Frank Gasparo. The coin is composed of a copper nickel clad, as opposed to the 90% silver content that was used in the first year of issue, 1964. By 1985, the coin was produced in limited numbers for circulation, but even though it's as rare as some other years, it still holds a lot of interest for collectors, especially when found in great condition. If you're new to coin collecting, you might wonder, What does fine condition actually mean when we talk about a coin being in fine condition? It's a grade that falls on the lower middle end of the scale. Fine condition indicates that the coin has seen some wear, but the details of the design are still quite clear. In a fine grade 1985 Kennedy $50, you'll still be able to make out Kennedy's hair, but there will be some smoothing in the highest parts of the design, such as his cheek and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. Alright, so now let's get to the most exciting part, the current market value of the 1985 Kennedy $50 with the P mint mark in fine condition. First, it's important to note that this particular coin is a rare one in general, and its condition plays a significant role in determining its value in the market today. As of today, if you have a 1985 Kennedy $50 in fine condition, its value on the collector's market can range from $120,000. Now, that might sound like a fortune, and remember that this is for a coin in fine condition. Next up, we'll be taking a close look at a fascinating coin from the United States, the Sacagawea dollar from the year 2000, specifically the version that carries the P mint mark. Even more interesting, we'll be exploring its value in poor condition. Despite its wear and tear, this coin still holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. So, stay tuned to learn all about its history, key details, and current market value in the world of coin collecting. Let's start with a little background. The Sacagawea dollar was first introduced in the year 2000 as part of the U.S. Mint's effort to reintroduce the dollar coin into circulation. The coin honors Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who played a pivotal role as a guide and interpreter for Lewis and Clark during their famous expedition in the early 19th century. The obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of Sacagawea, designed by artist Glenna Goodacre, with her infant son Jean-Baptiste on her back. On the reverse side of the coin, the image shows a soaring eagle, designed by Thomas D. Rogers, SR, symbolizing freedom and the spirit of exploration. While the Sacagawea dollar had high hopes of replacing the dollar bill in circulation, it didn't quite achieve that goal. However, the coin quickly became a favorite among collectors, particularly those interested in commemorative and historical U.S. coins. One important feature of the Sacagawea dollar is the mint mark. The mint mark on this coin indicates which U.S. mint facility produced it. Coins with the P mint mark were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the most prolific minting facilities in the country. The combination of its historical significance and relatively limited circulation has made these coins stand out, especially in the world of coin collecting. Now, let's talk about the condition of this coin. When we refer to a coin being in poor condition, we're talking about a coin that has seen better days. In numismatic terms, a poor condition coin is one that has been heavily circulated and shows significant wear and tear. The details of the design may be worn down, and the coin may have scratches, discoloration, or even some damage from being handled and used over time. While collectors generally prefer coins in pristine condition, there is still a market for coins in poor condition, especially when the coin in question is something as iconic as the Sacagawea dollar. Even in its worn state, the coin retains historical and sentimental value, which can attract collectors who are looking for a piece of U.S. history or who are completing a set of Sacagawea dollars from various years and mints. Now for the big question, what's the value of a 2000 Sacagawea dollar with the P mint mark in poor condition on today's collector market? While the condition significantly affects a coin's value, the Sacagawea dollar from the year 2000 with the P mint mark can still fetch a respectable price, even in poor condition. As of today, most collectors would expect to pay somewhere $99,000 for a Sacagawea dollar in poor condition. It's also worth mentioning that some rare variants and errors of the Sacagawea dollar exist, which could dramatically increase the value. For example, certain Cheerios Sacagawea dollars were released as part of a promotion and feature enhanced details on the reverse design. Next up, we are diving into a piece of American history that has captured the interest of numismatists all over the world, the iconic 1978 Kennedy $50. This particular $50 without a mint mark and in extra fine condition holds a special place in the coin collector's market today. We're going to explore its background, design, and of course, its market value in dollars. So, if you've got one of these coins in your collection, or you're thinking about adding one, stay tuned until the end because you won't want to miss the important details about its current value. Let's get started. The Kennedy $50 was introduced in 1964, just months after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963. It was created as a way to honor and commemorate the late president, and it quickly became a symbol of respect and reverence. Initially minted in 90% silver in 1964, the coin's composition was changed in 1965 to a copper-nickel clad to conserve silver during a time of increased demand and limited supply. Now, let's zoom in on the 1978 Kennedy half-dollar. By this time, the coin was no longer made of silver, but it still retained its symbolic importance. The 1978 issue was produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Coins minted in Philadelphia did not bear a mint mark, which is the version we are focusing on today, the 1978 Kennedy half-dollar, without a mint mark. The obverse of the 1978 Kennedy half-dollar features the familiar bust of President John F. Kennedy, designed by U.S. Mint sculptor engraver Gilroy Roberts. Kennedy's profile is striking, with his distinct facial features and hairstyle represented in fine detail. The date 1978 appears just below his profile, while the word Liberty wraps around the upper edge of the coin. The national motto "In God We Trust" is inscribed beneath Kennedy's chin. The reverse of the coin, designed by Frank Gasparo, displays a heraldic eagle with a shield on its chest, grasping an olive branch and arrows in its talons, symbolizing peace and strength. Surrounding the eagle is the inscription "United States of America" and half-dollar. This classic American imagery adds to the coin's appeal and historical significance. Most of these coins were used in everyday transactions, and as the years passed, they accumulated wear and tear, which diminished their collectability. However, coins that were preserved in excellent condition have become highly sought after by collectors. Before we dive into the market value, let's clarify what we mean by extra fine condition. In this grade, the coin shows only light wear on the highest points, particularly on Kennedy's hair above his ear. The design details are still well defined, and while there might be minor scratches or surface marks from circulation, the coin retains a significant amount of its original luster. In other words, an extra fine coin strikes a nice balance between having been used and still possessing much of its original beauty. For collectors, this is a desirable grade, because it indicates that the coin has seen some circulation, but has not been overly worn. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for: the market value of the 1978 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark in extra fine condition. As of today, the market value of a 1978 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark can vary depending on several factors, such as the demand among collectors and the coin's overall eye appeal. In extra fine condition, the value typically ranges $270,000. So, there you have it: the 1978 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark in extra fine condition is a piece of American history that remains unique and yet collectible in today's market. While it may fetch a fortune, it's a coin that represents an important era in U.S. coinage and honors one of the country's most beloved presidents. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating and historic piece of U.S. coinage: the 1976 Bicentennial USA $1 coin, celebrating the 200th anniversary of American independence. Specifically, we'll be talking about the one without a mint mark and in extra fine condition. Is this coin as valuable as its historical significance? Let's find out. Before we jump into the market value, let's first take a closer look at the history and design of this iconic coin. The 1976 Bicentennial Dollar was issued to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, a major milestone in U.S. history. This coin belongs to the Eisenhower Dollar series, which was minted from 1971 to 1978. The unique aspect of the 1976 coin is the special bicentennial design, which was only used in 1975 and 1976, but they all bear the 1776 to 1976 dual date to celebrate this important occasion. On the obverse, or front, of the coin, you have a portrait of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, designed by Frank Gasparo. It's the same design used on other Eisenhower dollars, but what sets this coin apart is the reverse. The reverse, or back, of the coin is where the bicentennial theme truly comes to life. Instead of the usual eagle landing on the moon, you'll find a design featuring the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon. This was created by Dennis R. Williams, a college student at the time, who won a national competition to design the reverse. The Liberty Bell and the moon together symbolize both the birth of American independence and the country's advances in space exploration, a fitting tribute for a bicentennial celebration. Now, it's important to note that these bicentennial dollars were minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The version we're focusing on today is the one minted in Philadelphia, which means it has no mint mark. There are also different varieties of the 1976 bicentennial dollar, including copper-nickel-clad coins and 40% silver coins. The one we're discussing today is the standard copper-nickel-clad variety, which was produced for general circulation. Before we jump into the coin's value, let's take a moment to understand what extra fine condition means. In coin grading, extra fine is a grade that falls between very fine and about uncirculated. A coin in XF condition has only slight wear on the highest points of the design. The details are still sharp and clear, though minor signs of circulation are visible. The luster may be partially worn away, but overall, the coin still has a fairly attractive appearance. Coins in this grade are popular among collectors because they strike a good balance between affordability and detail retention. An extra fine bicentennial dollar will still show nice detail in Eisenhower's hair and the Liberty Bell on the reverse, making it a desirable piece for many collectors. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. How much is this 1976 bicentennial USA $1 coin worth on the market today? As of today, the collector market value of a 1976 bicentennial dollar without a mint mark and extra fine condition ranges $350,000. Yes, it might seem surprising that a coin with such historical significance does command a higher price. So there you have it. The 1976 bicentennial USA $1 coin without a mint mark in extra fine condition is a beautiful and historically significant piece that every collector should consider adding to their collection. While it may have a sky-high value today, and it remains a unique and rare coin that carries the story of America's 200th anniversary. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow coin collectors. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more in-depth coin reviews and market updates. Let me know in the comments below if you have a 1976 bicentennial dollar in your collection and what condition it's in. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.